Hello, Luca. How are you today?
Well, I'm doing very well. It's good to find you here. How
Good, I'm good. So we are back with yet another LinkedIn Live. So today, before we get into what we'll talk about today, let's just go over if we have people who joining just today and haven't been through all of our
I'll,
previous recordings yet.
I'll check on LinkedIn while just to make sure because
So just
in theory we're live. Hello there.
Okay, Luca, before we get into it,
Yes.
let's just go over why we do this and what are the rules of engagement over here.
Okay, so we do this because we tend to talk a lot about stuff on LinkedIn, meaning we talk about things that are relevant to the Salesforce ecosystem, close to our heart. AI takes up a lot of our narrative, but we don't necessarily, or we heard that we don't necessarily talk enough about ourselves, which may or may not be true. So we take this opportunity once a month. I wish it was actually
More than that.
more often,
Yeah.
but it looks like yesterday we were here talking last time, and we talk about ourselves. So we look into our solution, we look into our some special features, things that we're doing, things that we believe are relevant and interesting for our audience and our customers.
Yes. And I think you forgot to tell everyone about the rules of engagement.
Ooh, rules of engagement. Well, the basic rule is that there is no such thing as a stupid question. And that's exactly the spirit with which we do this. Very informal, very open. Let's actually ask all the questions. And so if you have questions, you may drop them in LinkedIn. We may or may not be able to see them. We'll figure it out. I think I'll try to with my mobile. Yeah, so that's the basic rule. The other rules is, I think the other rules are,
I think this is the one rule that you should remember. Other rules are just like it's an informal conversation where we get to know how you would like to use our product, how it would help you, and all of that stuff.
Perfect.
So today we will talk about hyper-personalization or hyper-customization.
Indeed.
With Vinton.
Exactly. So, and to introduce that, hyper-customization is one of our key differentiators. So I want to share my screen. This will look, a Chrome tab. Look at that. I can share a Chrome tab.
Yes, let's do that.
And yeah, so this is the idea of how Vinton works.
I think it's a bit too complicated, so I will just go ahead and explain this in very, very simple terms how it works before we get into.
Well, I think this is very clear and obvious.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
for someone who's built it, maybe, but for people who are looking at it, it's a bit complicated.
Okay. Well, Vinton is in the middle. Things happen before,
yes,
and things happen after.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll stop sharing, and you tell us in simple words what's actually happening with this.
So in simple words is that you invite a note taker into your call. It records the video of the call. You record an audio or an in-person meeting. You have a video recording. We take that video or audio recording, we process it in our media backend, and then we generate transcript from it.
Okay.
When we have transcript, we take that transcript and we send it to an LLM, from where we get insights with a set of prompts, obviously.
Yes.
And we take insights. And then we have the insights from the call, we have the transcript that we've generated, and then we have the media file, which is saved in our cloud storage.
Yes.
We combine all three things together and we send it to your Salesforce, where it lives and breathes. So we have 5.
And we've come full circle, basically.
Yes.
So from a recording all the way to data in your Salesforce.
Yes.
So we turn conversations into Salesforce data.
So we have 5 main units. First is recording the audio or video file. Second is generating transcript from that file. Third is cloud storage or backup, where the media file is stored, because we know that we cannot save that in Salesforce.
Right.
The third is the prompt or the templates that we use to generate insights. And the fourth is the LLM.
The fifth.
The fifth is the LLM that we use. So 5 key components that build the whole structure.
Okay.
And now we will talk about how we can customize all of these and how you can be the owner of all of these, one of this, or however you like.
Perfect. To do that, I would like to share my screen again. Let me see if we can go back to our architecture,
Too
say
complicated.
say goodbye to the architecture, and look at this slide very
Yes.
quickly. Like, we use this slide with our customers to help them understand how Vinton plugs into the existing set of
Yes.
technology, processes, information that is already existing, already captured,
Mhm.
already or going to be captured in their technology
Yes.
stack. And we bring all of that wherever they need it and wherever they can make the most of it.
Yes.
Right?
This is the perfect description of what we do. So we are in the heart of all your processes. We're making sure that we're integrating with all the systems you have, not just Salesforce. If it's in an LLM, if it's AWS for data storage, everything.
Yeah.
If it's a voice over internet protocol that you're using to record some phone calls, so we sort of integrate with all of them. So the first one is recording video or audio.
So talking about hyper customization.
Yes.
So today is dedicated to understanding why our clients tell us that this is a major differentiator from everything that they
Mhm.
do. So number one is in the process is recording.
Yes.
So we record the conversations. We record them on video or on audio. Okay. So now customization here is because our clients can choose which channel they want to
Yes.
record
It
video
could
or
be
audio.
Meet, it could be Zoom, it could be Teams. So that's for video calls.
Yeah.
For audio
Could be
is
phone.
It could be phone. For audio, you can use desktop. You can use your Salesforce to record an audio.
So it's an
file.
in-person recording as
In-person,
well.
yes.
So
And then phone calls, we support voice over internet protocols, which integrate within Salesforce. So if you have Ring Central or Five9, we've successfully
yes.
integrated with these two solutions. So we integrate with everything, all the video audio transcription.
Okay. So that's an easy customization, right? So all the channels, wherever your conversation is
Yes.
happening, we can capture it.
Yes.
Second level, that's where we start to apply. Sorry, we have a board in front that kind of follows that. So the second level, or the first interaction that we have once we've recorded a media file, an audio or a video, is that we use speech to text.
Yes.
To do.
Yes.
And we have do we have a solution for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can, so for instance, we're generating transcription and we have our own solution that we can use to generate speech to text. But if, for example, you're a customer and you're like, hey, you know what, I don't like this, there's this XYZ transcription service that transcribes the calls better in the language that I speak in. So for instance, for Arabic dialects, there might be a transcription service that's better than the one that we use.
Yeah.
We can help you integrate that transcription service to use it to generate the transcript.
So just for the sake of who's listening, so we employ state-of-the-art transcription services that are already coming out of the box with our solution, and they are DeepGram, I think, is our favorite of the moment.
Yes.
They do a great job with multiple languages across the globe.
Yes.
Coming up fast is Whisper
Yes.
from OpenAI. I think they're developing a lot of additional languages, a bit more kind of away from our Western European languages, and they go into some more in-depth different languages. And then obviously, I think because our media backend is actually built using a lot of AWS
yes.
technology, AWS transcribe is definitely an option for our customers as well. But as Mina was explaining, we were just exploring actually for a client very specific transcription services that are specialists in, for instance, Arabic languages and different versions and language and local dialects, even or accents in the Arabic language. Now, transcription. So personalize, choose the transcriber that you want, the one that's is best suited for the languages that you want to transcribe.
Yes.
Now, third point, what do we do with the media?
Storage.
Yeah. Cloud storage is the next personalization, customization element.
Yeah.
So you explained that once a video or an audio is processed, it's ready to be stored somewhere so it can be streamed back.
Yes.
Into Salesforce.
So out of the box, we store it in our AWS storage.
Yes.
This comes out of the box. But if you wish to save it in your AWS storage or your own personal company's Azure storage, we give you an option to choose that. It's a very easy setup. One meeting, 30 minutes, you're set up. So it's not something that's really complicated. We just have to.
And I'll explain why companies want this option. Very practical examples include governance, data governance. A lot of companies that we work with, they like to control the entirety of their data, including the audio and video files that are actually processed through Vinton.
Yes.
So we can store them in their own cloud solution. And importantly, we can also localize that cloud storage. There's data residency requirements for many of our clients.
Yeah.
We can absolutely cater for those needs by providing a one-click, switch option, really, to store in your own local cloud storage.
And if, for example, you would like us to store your media files, but you would have to have a backup in your own custom cloud storage. So we also give you an ability to choose a separate storage for just backup. So you don't have to have both media and backup in one place. You can have a separate storage for backup. We can save your media files so however you want. So these are very isolated in the sense that if you can pick and choose whatever you want to based on what your requirements are, what the requirements of the company is. So some of our clients just use backup. Some of them use both of them. So it's just totally up to our customers at the end of the day.
Very cool point. So we've recorded a video and audio, multiple channels. We transcribed it with whichever transcription service makes sense. We stored the audio and video. What do we do with the text that we transcribed?
So the transcribed text, we have a set of prompts, templates. We take those templates and we take the transcript text and then we send it to an LLM. So let's...
Yeah, I'm typing context-aware prompts because this is a relatively recent solution that we launched to enable our clients to provide the set of instructions that are specific for the context of the conversation.
Yes.
Again, very practical example. Clients use our solution to record conversations that are both with clients for sales or business development, existing clients for support. They record conversations for internal project updates, and they record conversations with candidates for interviews. Very different context, same technology, very different set of instructions to create the insights in the format that makes sense for the context. And that's why we've launched customization options that relate to the instructions, the prompts that we're sending to the AI.
And I think even if you're just using it for sales, I think for an initial sales call, you would want a different set of prompts. And for a sales call that's later into development, you would want to have a different approach to generate insights from it. So we can personalize this to a level where you can specify the context that, hey, this is an initial sales call. I want you to do X, Y, Z. With the insights, and then for a later stage, you can.
Very good point. The point that Mina is making here comes to life with a lot of our clients by understanding a different framework for methodology framework that is applied to generate the insights. Just the example from Mina, if it's a business development, so discovery call, first interaction with a customer, you may want to apply a BANT methodology, for instance, budget authority need template. I think we talked about it live actually in a couple of occasions already. If it's a later stage conversation, then it's a different methodology and you're expecting different sets of information like those of Medic, for instance. So templates to personalize the instructions. Who are the instructions going to?
So the instructions are going to an LLM, which is out of the box. It's OpenAI, but if you want to customize it to a level where you say that I have my own LLM, which I would want to, which is trained on my data, and I would want you to integrate that, we can do that. If you have an OpenAI business account and you would want to integrate that to our solution, we can use that. So to generate the insights from the templates and the transcript, you can either choose to use our LLM, which comes out of the box, or you can customize it to a level where you can use your own LLM, your preferred large language model, and we can use that LLM to generate insights from the call, which is
Yeah.
summary, topics, and coaching and
All the
everything.
insights, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So the interesting part, the typical question that comes up when we discuss about LLMs is, what is happening to my data once it's fed into OpenAI? So an important point here to make is that we have an enterprise API subscription and partnership with OpenAI. We use their latest model to produce the best possible insights, but in the agreement that we have with them, it's absolutely a must that they don't save and store any of the data that we feed them. So the information that comes from these audio and video conversations is not stored anywhere in the AI LLM. And secondly, very importantly, is not used for any training of the AI LLM.
No, we don't do that.
So that's important. Now, that said, some of our clients have plugged their own LLM, typically OpenAI, their own OpenAI API account, which means that for every single call, conversation, meeting that they feed into the LLM is learning a little bit more about their operation. And this is particularly interesting for them because they're obviously building an asset, effectively, one conversation at a time. Now, all this data is fed into the LLM. The LLM produces the insights using whichever LLM, whichever template we've given. With that data, what happens with that data?
So we take that data and we push it to your Salesforce and we link it to the relevant records in Salesforce, contact, users, account, leads, opportunities. So we link that all in to these relevant records in your Salesforce. And then the most important part is that we don't have this data saved with us in our database. So when we push the transcript back, we push the insights back, we delete everything from our system. So we don't have that data.
Did we say that we're native? We probably didn't. Our legacy, where we are coming from, and the history of Vinton stems out of the history of native video, which is the underpinning solution that handles all of these processes, as well as most importantly, pushing all the data back into Salesforce. And the reason why we talk about customization or hyper-customization also at the level of the Salesforce data model and processes is because the data that comes back, the insights, the summary, the notes, the next steps, the recommendations, the coaching, all of that information is actually pushed into Salesforce according to the Salesforce existing data model. Right? So it can be personalized. Obviously, all the standard objects. It goes into the contact, it goes into the account, it goes into the case, it goes into the opportunity, of course. But it can also create or populate and update different records. The example of hyper customization for a recent client is that they have a custom object, they call it visit. It's actually quite a common way of using Salesforce. So every time there's a new, their users, their employees create a new conversation with a client, they are tasked with creating a visit. Well, Vinton can create that visit based on a quick voice note or a quick recording of a conversation, capturing automatically the information from the conversation, from the voice note, and pushing it directly after having created the visit new record and populating the individual fields in the record.
So the way our data model within Salesforce is structured is we're just not pushing data in Salesforce and just in one object or anything.
Or mapping.
It's in Salesforce in a very structured way, which means that you can use it for your within your current processes. You can use our data model very easily to create flows. For example, just an example that you give, that you had a meeting or an audio note where you generated XYZ insights from that meeting. Now, if you have a summary and you wish to populate that summary into some field that you have within your account record, your contact, any custom object, you can just do it very simply through a flow. It's just as easy as looking at the data model, and if you look at it, you know that, hey, this is what I need to look for, this is how I would do it, and then
which suggests that the data that comes back into Salesforce with this level of customization will be Salesforce data
Yes.
in the right context,
Exactly.
which is the best data for our new friend, Agentforce.
Yes.
So Agentforce kind of completes the picture of what it means to use Vinton and the level of hyper customization that it provides, because that specific way in which data is fed back right in the context and populates the different fields, the exact moments that are captured directly into the CRM, will constitute and already are constituting the best training material to feed into Agentforce and to make it understand the company processes and what's expected and what is happening or not happening across the organization and its processes. And that then it basically opens the door for Agentforce to go in, understand and take stock of all that information, and then act on behalf of the company, which is ultimately what we expect Agentforce to do.
It's as you can make it as detailed as you want it to be with Agentforce. You can make it as simple as you want it to be. So it could be as simple as just having summary of all the interactions you had with the contact with an opportunity, and you can feed it to your agent. You can create a topic, and it's as simple as creating a flow, picking up the summary, and then in that topic you can say that, hey, this is all the call interaction details that I had. And with Agentforce you can prompt it and topics and all of that fun stuff. And then it could be as simple as when you're interacting with a contact, you can ask the agent, hey, can you tell me the latest interaction? Can you give me a summary of all the interactions that I had with the call? And with all of that data that's fed into the agent, you can have just the summary. It could be as simple as that, or it could be as detailed as you can take all the insights, which is coaching. You can feed it. You can have the summary. You can have the time and date and title of the call. So it's up to you how you want to use that data. It is in your Salesforce in a very structured way. So it's as structured as it can be, and it's all linked. So it's the beauty of it is that it's all linked to one contact. So you can just sort of, if you want to find out all the interactions with a contact, you have all of that data here. You just need to create. We would probably work on that as well internally. We're exploring how we can do that, but it's just it's really nice and fun. Maybe we could do another LinkedIn session on just Agentforce, and we can see how we can because it's a big sort of area, and I think we should have a proper 30-minute session for it.
It's a big priority,
but it's
yes. Actually, we're coming into the last 5 minutes or so of this this conversation.
Do you want to see if we have any questions?
Let's see if we have any questions. So we have. Well, actually, I received a question on my personal LinkedIn, and it's actually regarding transcripts. So let's actually go back into the process. So the recording comes in. Yes. So the recording comes in, and that's as a first step. We look into the recording, be that a video call, as Mina was explaining, right? So it could be Teams, Zoom, Slack, actually, or Meet. Or it could be an in-person conversation recorded as an audio recording with the understanding of the different speakers. It could be a voice recording, or it could be a phone call, as we mentioned earlier, with the Ring Central, Five9, Salesforce Voice, Genesis. You have it. Now, the reason why transcript is very important is because at the moment, as you can see probably in the process laid out there, all our AI insights are based on the speech, so on the text rather than the images of the video, and that's important. So we don't at the moment, the AI would allow us to look into how people, the body language, the expression, even the intonation of how they say things, to suggest variation compared to what they say. But at the moment, we're stopping, or we're focusing on making sure that we understand what's being said from a text perspective, and that's the information that we use. And this is because it's super fast.
Yes.
right? So, it will take 30 seconds maximum, a minute, minute and a half to create insights from a 2 hours conversation just by using text, because it's if you've seen GPT in action, exactly how very long text can be analyzed and fed back in no time. But it's also a matter of costs. We can keep our costs much more under control if we just use the text. So it's a very good question, and thank you for asking it. And with regards to transcript.
Yeah. So I hope we're not forgetting anything.
So, well, I don't think we're forgetting anything. The important message, maybe, since the good old saying is, say what you're gonna say, then say it, then say what you said. Let's actually say what we said.
Okay.
Right? So we came on this call saying we're gonna tell you a bit more about how and why Vinton is hyper customizable. And then we took you through a number, 7 actually, levels at which customization can be brought into Vinton. Vinton can be adapted to cater for exactly what your organization, your company, your needs are. And this is a major differentiator for Vinton compared to all the other solutions that are out there. And it's built on top of the number one differentiator, which is it's native to Salesforce. Did we say it? It's native to Salesforce. Now, customization then in where and how the conversations can be recorded. Customization in terms of where and how it is transcribed.
Yes.
Speech to text is applied. Then customization in terms of cloud storage. Where is the information stored and backed up?
Mm-hmm.
Templates, customization in terms of what prompts are used to create the summary, the next steps, the drafted email, the AI coaching, sentiment analysis, all of that is customizable with a touch of a button, with a click in our admin panel in Salesforce. AI customization, bring your own AI if you want to.
Yeah.
Tell us what you want to plug, and we'll do it. Vinton will adapt to it.
Yeah.
Ooh, the open AI. Then number 6, mapping to your data model. That's a customization that, by definition, when you're native, you have to do it because there's no such thing as two Salesforce that are built in the same way. And then finally, Agentforce, presenting and offering all of this information, feeding it into Agentforce means that Agentforce approach can be customized, and Vinton can work in tandem, really, in partnership with Agentforce to create the best possible insights for your organization. So I'll go back to LinkedIn to see if we have more. There's someone say hello. Hi there. And I think we're coming up to the end. Let me remove, and we're back full screen.
Yes.
I think this was a good session. Hopefully we created a little bit of value by adding some more information into the mix. Any more questions for us? Come back to LinkedIn, drop a note,
message.
drop a message in there, or just come directly to us. You'll find us on the App Exchange, as probably you would expect, as a native solution for Salesforce, or go to your Google and search for Vinton and Salesforce in the same sentence, and you'll be sure to find us. Vinton.ai is our website, of course. And Mina can answer all your questions.
All of them. Any questions that you have, I'm here to answer them. So feel free to contact me. If you want to set up, just install the app and send me a message anywhere you want to send me a message, and I will make sure that you're all set up.
We'll be here, and then we'll be actually back in a month. It will feel like tomorrow, but it will be in a month time. And we're open to suggestions of things that we could talk about and dig deeper. Hopefully, we will have something new and exciting again to share with you. Thank you very much for your attention, and hope to see you next time.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.